the Wolf team pretty consistent for the most part.
It's Radiant's band now.
Yeah, I definitely would concur, especially considering, you know, the two teams that Omega lost to are not necessarily known as the strongest team. To be fair, I'm saying that, but they're actually also not bad teams. I mean, Ravens did also lose their games, but they looked very impressive while losing them. And Dreamers are 2-2, so
Yeah, that's always nice.
5 seconds left.
it's not too problematic. But we are getting to the point in the tournament where wins are definitely going to be a necessity to keep yourselves afloat in Division 2 or possibly even advance on towards Division 1. Get to see a couple of the bans so far, though. Okay, Sand King Earth Spirit ban. I mean, they're targeted bans because Dark Demon plays a very good Earth Spirit, but not necessarily the first heroes you expect to be banned this batch.
Right, Tiny is still in the pool, and so is Shadow Demon. Even IO if they want to play it. We'll see. I've been seeing a lot of success with just first pick Shadow Demon. Mega goes for Mirana. Alright. That's a new one, I suppose.
I mean, I've seen a lot of Mirana actually. Especially with that Shadow Demon that you spoke of. Very easy setup. Also the Bane Mirana combo still normal, but yeah, it's surprisingly enough a hero that does pop its head a little bit more than I initially expected to come through this patch, or in any patch for that matter.
I've seen a bit of it as well, just generally not first phase, first pick.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Let's see, they combo it with Dusa. Alright.
Which is interesting. I mean, you got the of course Stone Gaze, which is great against Pangolier in that regard, but for the most part, those two heroes that Interitus picked up are two heroes that could not lock down a Medusa for an entire fight.
It's Radiant's band now.
Alright, so instant PL ban, no surprises there. Bloodseeker banned by Interitus, also pretty logical considering they have a Pangolier, and Pango really doesn't enjoy playing against Bloodseeker.
10 seconds.
I reckon Interitus is also no longer going to pick up
5
Tiny anymore,
seconds left.
because Tiny isn't that great against Dusa. There are some other decent options still in the pool though, so I wouldn't be too worried.
I would still not mind a position for Tiny, and you just eat the Deuce away from every team fight.
Radiant's turn to ban.
It's a possibility. I'm not a huge fan of Tiny against heroes where you can't really burst them. Because if you want like repositioning or control, I think there is better heroes out there. Have you seen a lot of successful position for Tinies?
I have seen a couple. Mainly just successful mid-Tinies. Safe lane sometimes. Honestly, safe lane feels like it has been losing a little bit more, but I think the mid-Tiny, you know, the old classic magic damage build, pretty solid. The fact that you can't pop anything during Avalanche is actually kind of insane.
Yeah. I've seen a few like position for Tinies where they initially planned to pick it as a core, but then they got completely countered. It was like, we'd rather have a shitty game on our position 4 than on our position 1. So, yeah.
5 seconds left.
We'll see if they want to go for it. We see a Beastmaster ban as well. And a Timbersaw ban. I haven't been seeing too much Beast. So I'm surprised it got banned out here. And they pick up Shadow Shaman.
Oof.
Alright.
I love the Shadow Shaman in this patch. Even though I still think like his cast and attack range is stupidly short and it makes him horrible to lane with. But Pangolier normally doesn't. Pangolier doesn't really need help. He just hits it with his smack, shield slam, and walks away.
Yeah, fair. Pango doesn't really need anything on lane. I've seen a few Pangos actually dominate lanes though, which is something that I haven't seen too much of throughout his different iterations. Tends to be kind of in lane, gets his farm, and then starts being active at level 6. But I've seen Pangos become really aggressive even before level 6.
Well, they do pick a very good hero, of course, against both the Shaman and the Bane. As you shackle or Fiend's Grip someone, you just hit them with the old shield, and they walk away scot-free, which is, of course, going to lane most likely with the Dusa. To make sure the Dusa stays alive at all times.
Dire's turn to pick.
It's a really nice pick against both Bane and Shadow Shaman, because they have these long channeled disables that you can easily remove. And they pick up mice as well, so they have a really nice mix of like magic damage, control, and scaling on their team. I'm liking this Omega lineup a lot.
A good team fight. They've got the ways to keep the Deuce alive with the Abaddon and the Mars Arena, and also hold the enemy in place. Stuns. I concur. It's a nice mixture. Interitus are more of a pick-off draft right now. Team fight's going to be pretty rough on them. Unless you, of course, lock down 2 enemies, but the Abaddon will always be able to save 1.
Yeah, I feel like it's all gonna come down to Pango's role. If he gets a really nice role on like both the Abaddon and the Doosan, creates a lot of chaos, I can see them winning a fight. But in general, yeah, looks like they need to abuse the superior skirmishing.
Well, the question is, of course, how are you going to finish the draft? I would assume it's an off-lane Pango, though there are some situations where you get to see it still a mid lane coming up. But with the heroes that are still left, you're laning against the Mirana Mars, and you need something that also counters the Dusa. What are your first ideas?
Ooh, for which position? Sorry.
Safe lane. Lanes with the Bane. I'm thinking maybe they pick up the Lone Druid here and try to win in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Lone Druid at all. It fits really nicely with the Shadow Shaman too. Other options, if they wanna like bring the fight to the late game, they could pick up Anti-Mage, but then Anti-Mage is a pretty shit hero this patch, so it's kind of iffy. They could go for a Monkey King as well. It's a nice mix between scaling and skirmishing as well in the mid game. Because Dusa is one of the heroes who actually struggles a little bit with getting outside of the Wukong's command. But first we're gonna see an Invoker. Very nice pick against Dusa. Has the mana drain and some decent scaling in the late game as well.
Probably gonna be a Quaswax, and though I still despise that to this very day. But yeah, against a Evoker, I mean, a lot of mid laners actually win against Evoker pretty decently. You could go for like a staple one where you go Lina, for instance, and just try to run her down. But in this case, you do have to be very careful on whatever mid laner you pick, because Shaman is probably going to try and rotate as much as he possibly can. And, you know, Evoker sets up the Tornado, Shaman walks in with the Shackles, and that's an easy pick.
Yeah, that's a nice thing about having a Pango. He's gonna be fine in lane, which means that your support can pretty freely rotate. So Omega definitely needs to pick a hero that can survive Invoker +1, something like a DK. I think would do really well here.
Well, they're taking their sweet time. Ursa banned out. Ursa is also another hero that would take the early game pretty convincingly with the Shaman and the Evoker. You take Roche at, I mean, as soon as possible as well. Not necessarily the best building hitter. That would be the only real downside on the hero. And it just destroys the Dusa, honestly, with the, you know, she pops her ulti. The moment you're about to get stunned, you just pop yours and you walk away.
Lifestealer ban as well. I would have been really surprised to see a Lifestealer this game, because it's a pretty terrible matchup against Dusa. It's good against Mice in lane, or like decent. Wouldn't say super good, but decent.
It is a hero that FCR has picked up a couple of times this patch already. So they might just, I mean, currently they have banned out most of the heroes that he likes to play. The one that is still left is Lone Druid. I think, except for TA, that is his highest pick win rate, highest amount picked hero. Mega mid
I'm
lane.
really curious to see if he can pull it off in this game, because there is quite a bit of control. And even Abaddon is pretty darn good against Lone Druid, because you can remove the Savage Roy and Entangle if you want to.
I love the shard roar. It is so freaking powerful, this patch.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps the Dusa away as well from the fight. Their lockdown in general on Interitus side. I mean, if you go Quaswex Foker with the Pangolier, Shaman and Bane, Abaddon can only shield one person. Which is going to be the Dusa. But then immediately once that happens, you just, you know, first you shackle her, shield, then you hit her with the Fiend's Grip. Ah, she's still done.
Alright, Ember Spirit. Normally it's pretty bad against Bane and Shadow Shaman, and even not that great against Invoker, but having an Abaddon really helps. And what Omega Gaming was lacking was one of those heroes that can create chaos and create space on the map, because Dusa and Misa are both pretty slow, and Abaddon plus Mirana are not going to be able to set up any kills. So I think if you look at hero matchups, it's a bad pick, but if you look at what the lineup needs in terms of tempo, it's a really good pick. There we go.
Choose your hero.
Anti-Mage last pick for FCR. I mean, it makes sense. You need something against the Dusa. Does mean that you're not going to go for that early game advantage. Instead, you're just going to hope that, I guess, split push is the name of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That Foker set's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen that one before.
I think it has like 3 different styles in 3 different colors, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, we'll check once we get in the game. But looking at these drafts, where are you heading more towards? Do you think Omega Gaming will be able to take it, or do you not believe in the Dusa beating the AM?
I think it's slightly Interitus favored, even though Anti-Mage is a really shit hero. Both Ember Spirit and Dusa are pretty bad against Anti-Mage. So, bad hero in a good situation is better than a good hero in a bad situation.
Okay. It's going to be a rough lane, though. Well, he does have the Bane, which is a very strong lane-dominating hero, but nonetheless, like, Mirana is very deadly for a AM.
Yeah, lane is gonna be not the best, to say the least. But at least having a Bane helps. Just a really strong general laning support. And Invoker is a hero that can rotate pretty early as well. Like, you don't need your level 6. If you want, you can come earlier. And just with Tornado, EMP, Cold Snap, you can do a lot of work.
I hope to see some Medusa rotations with, like, 1 value point in Searing Chains on the Ember Spirit and then go for a gank onto the Voker. I mean, some Ember Spirits, especially if they know that they're up against Quaswex, which is almost always the case, some Embers tend to go and just not get themselves the shield anymore this current patch I've seen. I'm wondering if he's going to do the exact same thing, considering you can now farm better with Sleight of Fist.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm just not sure, because Sleight of Fist, even with the changes, still finds a lot slower than Flame Guide. So I think you want at least like 2-ish points in Flame Guide. We'll see. He could go for like this super aggressive like 4-4-0 build as well.
Is J Mari. I've seen him completely dominate games with the Ember Spirit, being very aggressive. And he is... Rauer did mention, of course, the ex-player mid laner from Interitus, that he considers J Mari one of the best mid laners in Division 2. So definitely going to keep an eye on the Ember. Oh, that's rough. Try and go for a smoke play. They know exactly where the enemy is. Bait gonna work? No. Gonna be relaxing. Arrow. Okay, that one will land onto D-Flash. No one bottom though.
Sense with tingling.
But feel free to start killing before that. We're not sticklers.
Dusa actually started with a stick. Interesting.
Against Pango, Shaman. Shaman's probably gonna level Shock to hit the range creep anyway. How many bounties will it be?
Thanks. Marbles right
Who's
off
the
out
faster clicker?
Well, it's Namikaze, but he is taking a lot of damage in the process. Do they have a way of slowing him down? No, they do not, because there's no orb of venom on the Pangolier, so he'll be able to just walk away. And that means you get to see 3 bounty runes picked up by Omega versus the singular one from Interitus. I did not even mention that Namikaze is subbing in, if I'm not mistaken, for the Omega gaming side. Yeah, I completely spaced out on that factor. I think Chan? Yeah, Chan's not in the game, so Chan's the one that couldn't make.
Feels bad, man. No chance screaming today.
I mean, you had full caps, Mingati and Chan in the same lane, so you could just Chan and Mingati the entire time. But Chan is a pretty cool nickname.
Maybe next game.
Can only hope.
No.
Yeah, Jemari does have a point of flame guard. And Murdoch. Yeah, Quaswax, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, I feel like only a player like Thompson would go for a 4-4-0 build. It's too strange.
But you love to see Strange. I love Strange. Doctor Strange is also my favorite character in the MCU.
And, Abaddon dying to a level 1 Shadow Shaman Pango is also strange.
It is pretty heavy damage though. Shield crash. The zap, of course. Speaking of which, Pimpolio, bottom lane also in trouble, and the return kill comes through.
So greedy, sticking around, relying on his movement speed, even though he still only has 330, which is like the same as Abaddon.
Well, Jemari is having some decent farm in mid up against Murdoch, who is actually destroying Murdoch. You can see 5-1 versus 13-3.
Phew, that's rough. I mean, laning against a melee hero with Quelling Blade can be hired as a ranged hero at the start, but ooh, this is a bit much, Murdoch. I don't think there is an excuse for this one.
Well, hopefully he'll be able to recover nicely. Of course, Fokker is one of the heroes. You know, Quaswax is slightly slower in farming, but it does give you very good gank potential early on. Which is always
And it
a nice
really
buff.
helps when you are struggling in lane as well, that you don't have to spend as much money on regen, because you have the Quas orbs.
And of course the EMP to drain the mana away.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna be able to hit Jemari with that one. Because it's not super easy to dodge it with Sleight of Fist, but when you play a lot of Ember it gets easier. Especially when you use it on like a full creep wave. Because then the timing isn't that tight. Ooh, Pango on bottom, fighting Dusa.
Yeah, the Abaddon is a little bit far away. Body blocks, Mingati does have 11 magic wand charges. Nonetheless, still is out of mana, half HP. And Namikaze is pretty much using every little bit of regen that he has. And would not mind dying at this point.
Even giving the mango to Dusa. So nice. Proper support.
And mid lane, yeah, Jemari 10 creep kills ahead of Murdoch. Bottle refill. Murdoch's gonna try and get the kill. Jemari, does he get it? He does have himself, of course, the nice little heal from the fairy fire. And is he gonna be able to scoop up the enemy's bounty rune as well?
Oh, that's so nice.
Never refuse gold given.
Would have been a way for Murdoch to get back into the lane if he got the kill there. Ooh, arrow on top lane.
Flash, lockdown, Lissax no mana, no problem. FCR can't hurt him whatsoever at that point. I mean,
Really
two
nice
bracers.
no scope.
So far, Omega Gaming looking pretty good at the start of the game. Bottom lane, Namikaze taking some damage from the neutrals and Pimp.
These supports are having a lot of fun in the bottom lane, just running at each other.
That ward bottom at the bigger camp, the sentry ward. I always find that one so strange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the logic of wards blocking neutral camps is pretty far-fetched anyway.
Oh, Jimari. That difference between him and Murdoch. He also, of course, because, well, Ember can farm up the small camp very easily. Especially if you go for a couple of points in the Flame Guard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there is still like a 600 net worth difference, which is rough. Wonder if J. Murray is just gonna double down on like early presence and get like an Orb of Corrosion and Deso, that kind of a build. So I think it would be really good in this game. Oh, D-Flash. Taking a bit of damage here.
Nice arrow dodge. Gets away. I mean, Jamari doesn't have a value point in Searing Chains, so killing someone is pretty rough with the Ember Spirit, unless you want to go for a dive bomb with Fire Remnants. But considering you're playing against the Bane and the Shaman as a support duo, it is always terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And level 1 Remnants deal like no damage as well.
Oh yeah, you're right. The set that the Poker has 4 skins: White, Exort, Quas, and Wex.
There we go.
And he's using the Exort skin, which makes sense because he's playing Wex.
Of course, yeah. It does look nice though. The red armor with like the purple/pink orbs.
Be fair, fire mages are always the best. And FCR Mana Void just right clicks Lissex down, slowly but surely gets the kill. And well, top lane is actually going pretty decent here for Interitus.
That was a pretty big kill as well, because the Mars was out farming the AM a little bit. And just killing him right before the level 6 is really nice timing. Man,
Demari went for a javelin rush. Look at that. No phase boots done, just javelin. Slash and sleight of fist is gonna be dangerous.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's a nice mix of damage and farming speed. I think maybe I would have still preferred Orb of Corrosion and Deso, just because the farming department is pretty much covered by the Dusa, but can't really blame someone for going Maelstrom on Ember.
Oh, this time he does have a value point. They find Pimp. While I was looking top side, there's a chase coming in onto Dark Demon. EMP connects and he'll die to Murdoch, who does manage to get the kill as well. So, a little bit of a skerfuffle happening, but mostly both teams just trying to farm him. Dark Demon actually has a pretty decent amount of farm, and that's probably because he just arrows creep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gotta love playing Mirana 4. It's actually maxing arrow as well.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. To be fair, you don't want to be anywhere in the middle of a fight against the Interitus heroes. Especially not as squishy of a hero as Mirana.
And the stun duration does go up quite a bit.
And that 1 second cooldown reduction value.
Oh, amazing. It is strange though that he put a point in Starstorm then. Because I don't think you want to spend 80 mana for like 100 damage.
Yeah, but who goes for 2 points in leap?
Yeah, that's also weird.
Maybe even
I
stats?
guess, stats, yeah. Stats, Mirana. Coming to pubs near you.
The shard is of course a different one. Now it's like a slow when you leap with an extra leap charge. Still haven't really seen much of that shard.
Yeah. Doesn't seem so great. Because you like need to leap in on someone, and generally you use leap to get out of sticky situations.
I don't really see that much. I mean, if you're chasing someone down, it's kind of okay.
Mm-hmm.
Radiant's bottom tower's still
I like the other one more, where you get like when you leave the first couple of seconds or something, you get some crits or crit chance. Oh, it was pretty cool.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah, I
tower
wish
is
Mirana
under
core
attack.
was still a thing.
Dire's putting
So
up a
much fun.
barricade.
Top lane being pushed in, while same happens bottom. Full orb of corrosion on
TPing
hijack.
with the DD.
That is a very risky TP, because now he's going to get skewered to the side. Nightmare save attempt. Murdoch, can he turn this around? Kamikaze's not level 6 yet. Shackles comes through. Lissex held in place. Rolling Thunder goes in. And Dark Demon has to leap away while Lissex gets taken down. A super risky TP from Murdoch, but you know, he's got the support.
Tower is under attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trusting his teammates. Almost has his Midas finish now, and he desperately needs it because he's already 1,000 gold behind the Ember.
Disintegrate.
Ooh.
He flash close to
He
level
flash.
6.
No level 6
Come
yet.
on, farm! Creeps die! Creeps die! He needs it! Sad,
I
now
was
he's...
waiting for him to brain sap the creep.
Yeah,
Would have been
unfortunately.
so sick.
Yeah. I was also thinking he's gonna try and hit a creep or something, because he was just... some reason hitting the Ember. Ooh.
Poor mice.
Does have a
Dire's
Maelstrom
bottom tower is
done.
under attack.
And, yeah, looking pretty good. J-Mari does get a magic wand afterwards. I'm actually wondering, because he did not go for phase boots, are we gonna get to see some counter split push shenanigans with bots on Ember?
I think
Oh
so,
my
yeah.
god, that damage.
He had Sleight of Fist, pretty decent.
Yeah. Pretty
And the
strong.
mage hits like 2 creeps, and then Ember is like, nope. Ooh,
Nightmare
Radiant's
whiff
bottom
coming
that was
through.
beautiful.
Yeah, that is a double Nightmare save coming in, but then for the wrong team.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Mid tier 1 tower also secured. Top tier 1 is still alive though. But it's looking a little bit rougher here for Interitus. Anti-Mage's farm is not too bad though. It's going for the Powder Fury unsurprisingly. But on the other end, Mingati, he's also just loving life. 2 assists, 0 deaths, not been disturbed while he's farming at all.
AM's gonna have to do a lot of heavy lifting this
Dire's
game.
top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Let's see. Pango has a blink coming, so that's a nice timing as well. Let's see what they can do with it.
Dire's
Yes,
top tower is
probably
under
the
attack.
Blink Yule Scepter kind of build. From a lockdown.
It's really
Dire's
nice
top
this game
tower ain't a tower
because
no more.
Pango's stun is also something you can't really dispel with Abaddon. Because if you're on top of someone and the stun gets dispelled, it instantly gets applied again. Because I think the way that it works is that it checks if Pango is still inside the radius and the target isn't stunned yet by Pango. So when the stun is removed, then that condition no longer applies.
Oh, big arena catch coming in onto Murdoch, and they get the damage in. D-Flash already gone. Murdoch trying to bump out as much as he can. Rolling Thunder being a nuisance. Murdoch's still alive though, walking away. FCR joins the fray. FCR looking to drain some mana. Kamikaze ulti used. FCR needs to be careful. He's losing a lot of HP here. Blink to the side, but there's Hijack, Swashbuckle in. Namikaze, sorry, is taken down. Pimp. Well, that's I'm completely screwed, Shackles.
I love how Anti-Mage tried to join the fight and then got hit like once, lost all of his HP and was like, nope.
Yeah, that Ember does do nasty amounts of damage at this point in the game. He did mark up that he wanted to go bots, if I'm not mistaken, but he's going for a BKB first. Foker's got Hand of Midas, he's going for bots. It's not bad, it's not really a Spirit Vessel game anyway.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of sad though, because he's gonna spend like 4,500 gold on items that don't really help him fight.
Add in a Blink, 0 stats.
Mm-hmm. It's like the Blink Yules, BOT, Shadow Fiends.
They used a lot on D-Flash, and Arrow Mist as well, Spear Mist.
There's the Star Storm. Value.
got him the kill. Is it, oh, he does have a level 3 Starstorm. So he went for 2 points in Sacred Arrow and then the rest in Starstorm. Murdoch's struggling a bit this game. Even though he's 2 kills, 2 assists, and 0 deaths, his creep kills is just... I mean, he's 50 behind the Ember.
Precious bounty.
Yeah. Anti-Mage did at least finish up his Battle Fury, so the farm train has left the station.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Luckily enough, he is up against Adusa, who just has it innately.
Let's see if he can catch up. Nice kill onto the Bane.
Yeah, it's a sad game for the Bane. Just like when you're playing against a Silencer. As a Bane, you're just standing there. I cannot do anything this entire game.
Yep.
Rina, again, catch onto Murdoch. They, Rolling Thunder comes in. EMP as well. Lysix is out of mana. They just don't really have the damage to take down the Mars, especially not with the Abaddon nearby. And Hijack needs to be careful. He is getting himself a little bit confused on where to go. But Lysix missing an unfortunate spear. Piggy run, because they are coming back in. Hijack, swashbuckle, a lot of damage. Namikaze's dead. Mana Void gets used as well. They find 3 kills. Ingati at the very least will be able to TP out. But that was a very good turnaround play.
Yeah, very heads-up play, recognizing that Omega Gaming, even while they're strong, were in way too deep. Especially without their Ember. Who is by far the strongest hero on the map right now. Like, Deuce has a bit more net worth, but in terms of like actual map presence, it's J-Mari all the way. Especially with his DD rune in his bottle.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Does need to first regen some mana before he does anything. But the Serpent Wards were used. The mid tier 1 tower gets secured. Net worth-wise, both teams pretty much on equal footing. And FCR is slowly but surely getting close to Mingati's farm.
Still needs 2 more items before he can fight though. Needs Manta and then another item.
And it's a rough split push game because of course J-Mari has bots. So he'll always be able to defend the side lanes when need be. Oh, FCR. So much damage from just one sleight of fist plus Searing Chains.
Radiant's bottom tower needs a
Yeah.
hand.
There is no fun to be had for Anti-Mage just yet. Actually, that's not true. Because the sound of Mana Break and then the sound of gold afterwards is like heroin.
Oh, Murdoch, this is his 4th time that he gets caught in an arena this game.
His
Flash.
first death though.
That is true. It's, this time though, he didn't have his team with him. D-Flash is gonna die to boot, but you know, this is his 5th, which is unsurprising.
Ooh, double bounty for Anti-Mage. Good stuff.
You know what's weird? You've got like they had the notification that you in the patch notes that you can't get out of the arena vertically anymore. So you can't like cookie someone out, but you can Mirana leap out of the arena, which makes 0 sense.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Imagine if Dota was
Dire's
consistent.
top tower is about to be Radiant's top rubble.
Pimp went for the mini blink up top, leaps over the trees with the Tumbler Stoy, and he gone. Mingati does not have a Quelling Blade. Rip. That's a good distraction.
But now Omega wants to gather up and take the remaining tier 2s. Because this is the time where Deuce is actually really strong against Anti-Mage.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, there's also the
The
moment
next-
when you get like level 25 on the Dusa and get the split shot, use modifiers. That one always makes the game terrifying.
Radiant's middle tower is not feeling the love. Radiant structures are fortified.
Let's see what Interitus
Dire's
wants to
top
do
tower
against
is about
this.
to be Radiant's top rubble.
Looks like the answer is just
Radiant's
far
middle
more
tower
on
is
the
under
Anti-Mage,
attack.
and I can't really blame them.
Pimp does have... Oh, Namikaze loses his ulti immediately. Pimp does have a blink on the Shadow Shaman, so that is terrifying. Lysix being held in place. D-Flash I don't think we've even seen a Fiend's Grip this game. Don't think we're going to see one just yet, but they do find a big kill onto Lissax. In comes the damage. Will be invised up. No mana available on Minga T whatsoever, so they really need to bail out on Omega.
D-Flash and Murdoch keep having miscommunications about their spell usage. Like, I've seen one Fiend's Grip, and it was immediately cancelled by a tornado.
Oh, then that was the reason why I haven't seen Fiend's Grips this game.
And once again, we saw a nightmare into a tornado. They need to figure out who uses spells on who.
I mean, just throw everything at your opponent. Isn't that the strat?
Sometimes. Murdoch working his way towards a BKB now, and that's definitely gonna help him with not getting caught in arenas.
Hijack is going for a Lotus Orb on the Pangolier, which doesn't really do much this game. I mean, it gets you out of the route. That's it. Discoil return.
Yeah, it is kind of strange.
Like, if Omega gets themselves a Lotus Orb, I can get behind that against this Interitus lineup. Feels like a very strange Lotus Orb game for Hijack.
Maybe the thought is that chains into arrows like one of their only sources of lockdown. But even then, you can just buy a 4-staff on one of your supports, and it's probably even better.
Yeah, well, the Eul's is done on the Mirana pretty much, so I guess it's also accounted to that, sort of. So Murdoch in trouble. Another arena catch coming in. They really catch out this Foker every single time.
Precious bounty.
Starting to get impressive. We're 22 minutes in and 5 arenas on the Voker. E-Flash. We just
A lot of fun
push
being
back.
game.
Absolutely degrade.
DD for Hijack. He's can buy the Lotus Orb completely if he wants to.
Dire's middle tower looks to be
He does have the arcane boots.
Dire's middle tower's taking a dirt nap.
And I guess they're gonna head Roche
Dire's middle tower
on
is
Omega.
under attack.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
I guess they don't, but they don't communicate that correctly because Dark Demon arrows Roche.
I'm not sure why Mingati wants to hit creeps instead of Roche. Ooh, and that's a big kill too on J Mari. This is pretty much free 60 seconds for the entirety of Interitus. Because without Ember Spirit, Omega cannot fight at all.
Well, they are gonna take a fight here because there's no arena yet for 11 seconds. Mana drained on Lissax as well. He's being held in place. The dust not on him. Lissax still alive, gets pushed back. They're trying to lock him in place until the rotations come in, but no one actually has dust with them. E-Flash places a sentry in the process, but yeah. I think Hijack, he did use
Yeah, he
dust,
dusted, but it got removed by the Apothic Shield.
Oh, the rest should buy some dust. Anti-mage, at least sell your Iron Branch, get 1 dust.
That's physically impossible for carry players, DK. I'm sorry.
+1 stats. Oh no.
Dust is a support item, so maybe if the support were to buy it for him.
Yeah, but he had to put that +1 stats away, which is also rough.
It's a matter of principle.
Why does the Shaman not even have dust? I mean, he has sentry wards, but still, dust, you know, nice value in a game against Moran. They don't need it for the time being. They're walking in. Count what comes out the arena. This time it's not a Murdoch, but D-Flash gets smacked out of existence. And Amar's being held at bay. Jamari is in the vicinity as well. Hijack will be able to roll back to safety. No D-Flash versus no arena.
Yam is almost ready to start joining fights with his Skadi.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
His for the entirety of this game, it's been 4v5, or actually more like 4v4. It's not like Mingati has been joining a lot of fights.
Radiant's
You
bottom
know,
tower
2
is
assists, which I
ahead.
think he got in like the laning stage. Mid Bimp will be caught out by Jimari. Does just enough magic AoE damage and is going for the Lincoln Sphere, which it's a superb Lincoln Sphere game or load sub game, as we previously mentioned.
Now Roche is finally being taken by Omega.
Dire is scared.
Murdoch has his first team fight item, by the way. BKB. So, value coming in.
Radiant's bottom tower shot has fallen to the Radiant.
Most classic trade in Dota. Roshan for tier 2 bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower must have been dizzy.
I want to see a good... I mean, this is a pretty good Cataclysm game.
Yeah, for sure. That means that even Shadow Shaman would become like a solo kill threat for the Ember.
So, get it. Come on,
Radiant are
do it,
scared of
Murdoch.
our enemies.
Or get Aeon Disc, to be fair. I mean, he does get Arena nearly every single time.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, they're gonna find Lissex here.
Sex, yep. Immediate jump in, lockdown, the wards even placed.
Commitment.
Yeah, they throw a lot onto that Lissex skill.
If they don't get this, that would be pretty sad.
Tries to
There
juke
we
his way
go.
through, but won't be able to escape. But yeah, that was a lot that they threw out for the kill. To be fair, without the Mars Arena, it does become very scary to take a fight on the side of Omega.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Wow, we didn't pay attention for a moment, and now Mingati has a Deadless.
Still very little HP, considering Mantis Style is the only like actual survival stats item that he has. But Butterfly does sort of, not really circumvent. They have a lot of magic damage on Interitus.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
This is kind of the classic way to try and deal with an anti-mage though. You can't play the static tanky Dusa, because in a long fight you would get destroyed by the anti-mage. So you just get a lot of damage and hope that your team can lock him down for a moment, and then you can actually kill him. I quite like this build, especially with the Aegis. 'Cause it's not like he's squishy.
Hijack. Ode to Sorb. Spell Reflect that snake. Yeah, Mingati's out of mana, but he does of course have the Aegis. Rolling Thunder pushes him slightly further in the enemy base, which is kind of funny. And that will be the first life gone, but no Rolling Thunder for the next fight. Hijack still just being a nuisance as much as he possibly can. Fiend's Grip comes out, but there's the immediate interruption. They get a double kill. Murdoch again gets smacked to the side. Triple buyback from Interitus, trying to rejoin the fight.
Tower has fallen.
But they get the tier 3 and force out a triple buyback, which is huge. Tornado comes out. Can they drain the Deuce? Doesn't have a Stone Gaze available. Is surrounded, but look at the damage coming in with the crits. They're just getting demolished. Mingati doesn't care. The Butterfly Daedalus damage is actually insane. Jimari joining in for fun, rooting them up, and that is a triple kill with a dieback on Murdoch.
Oh no, Pango still has buyback, but Invoker doesn't. They have a chance of just finishing the game here if they want to.
Barracks has fallen.
Because without Invoker, there is no way that Interitus can fight.
That Invoker walked into the fight full HP. 2 auto attacks from the Dusa later was at like 200. Got destroyed by that Daedalus.
Dire's top barracks.
That's considering
is-
he just doesn't have stats.
Dire's top barracks are
Yeah.
feeling the pressure. Top barracks has
This is the
fallen.
downside of having anti-mage in your team. Because everyone on his team is really poor, and if your anti-mage cannot win fights then, well, then you have no chance. And now he's trying to get a BKB, but even with a BKB, I'm not sure what he can do.
Well, it's in general just a very rough game. Pimp is nearby though. If they want to go on FCR, he might be able to save his teammate's life. Though Dark Demon has that Dual Scepter. Oh, they surround him with an entire army. Stun comes out, plus the Dusa Stone Gaze, double stun. FCR
No
knocked
buyback.
out, dead for 85, no buyback.
There are no creeps though. They would have to go through backdoor protection.
Dire's
Once
bottom
again, I
tower
think they
has
could
fallen.
finish right now by running mid, but doesn't look like they realize this or want to risk it. Because there is no way they're gonna get the creeps bottom in time.
Yeah, Pim's there to constantly cut it. Even could drop the Serpent Wards if need be. So they are looking for him, and they do catch him. Arrow from behind. Stunlock is there. Now Lissax is dead, which they know is a dieback.
Cheer up. Even my lesser foes are remembered.
Dire's bottom tower
Game's
is
looking
They're
rough for
finally
Interitus.
running mid.
I must have them all.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, seems to be that even a good game for a bad hero is still
Of haste,
a bad game for your team.
Uh-huh.
captured in the flame.
Hi, Jack. Just trying to distract Jamari as much as he possibly can, but the problem is his team, they're pushing tier 4s. You know, it's nice that you're rolling around and being, haha, I'm distracting him, but they're just hitting your, well, the end game. Deuce also has a
they-
Lincoln's.
We're here like 30 seconds ago. I feel like they
Dire's
could have
middle tower
finished.
is under attack.
And they potentially still can because there is no Rolling Thunder and it's not like Anti-Mage can fight with a bloody Mithril hammer in his inventory.
Tower looks to be disintegrating.
Going in, Jamari gets killed onto D-Flash, another dieback coming through, Man of Void, Mingati gets blown up!
Alright.
Big damage coming through, they get distracted, and they pounce in. FCR trying to burst down Jamari, instead goes for Namikaze, the Hex comes out, Namikaze should be falling down, but they, okay, I mean, Mana Void still very deadly against Sedusa.
Yeah, that's one way to go about it.
And Dusa first wanted to go Swift Blink, now decides BKB might be a very
Dire's
reasonable
bottom
item.
tower. Don't look good.
BKB is pretty decent. True.
Yes.
Tis mine.
I'm surprised he went for the Lincolns before BKB. They should still be okay though. On the side of Omega. Roche is potentially 70 seconds away, which lines up quite nicely with Dusa respawning.
I do like a couple of items that are coming up. Pango has, of course, the Heaven's Halberd done, which is superb against Usa. Going for the Basher next, which is also superb against Usa. And Murdoch is going for the Ags, which is going to be there at a reasonable time. Like, they're getting some very big tools ready. And FCR going for the MKB next, so we'll at least be able to break right through the Butterfly. That means Dusa needs stats. Gets a little
Be a
bit
big
dicey.
kill.
Fiend's Grip! Yay! Again, don't really know if the Serpent Wards were really necessary, considering you had a Fiend's Grip and everyone around it, but okay.
Yeah, the snakes are just there to party. Awkward timing for Omega. Reckon they're hoping that Roche doesn't spawn now.
That's probably going to be, you know, a full 3-minute Roche respawn timer. Let's see. A minute and a half. About 50-50. But yeah, there's a, I mean, it's only an 8k net worth lead for Omega. And you still have an anti-mage heading to late game. They have very good lockdown and ways to deal with the Dusa.
And now AM actually has a BKB, so he can jump in on the Dusa without fear. Because with the Skadi, he can actually man-fight the Dusa.
Smoke gets broken. Flash walking in. Murdoch gets spotted. That pushback just saved Murdoch from a fat arrow on his keister. Namikaze will be held in place. Dark Demon as well. Can Dark Demon escape? One more leap available. Sunstrike comes out. Guesses incorrectly. Hijack really wants that kill together with FCR. And they will be able to secure it. And immediately turn around. 40 seconds until Roche respawns. Their tier 4 top is under siege. They kind of need to send someone at the very least back.
In just 25 seconds and both teams are setting up.
We are level 25, so we can go for the Mana Void cooldown. I assume.
I guess, yeah. Because the magic damage isn't really a problem.
20-second
Yeah.
cooldown on Mana Void. Not bad.
It's decent. It's decent, for sure. Killing the enemy Dusa from full if she has no mana on 20-second cooldown. Yeah.
Hey, stop going for the Aghanim Scepter rushes. That was a thing at the start of the patch. Aghanim Scepter rush on anti-mage.
Kinda strange.
I enjoyed it. Hijack. Oh, this is a whiffed arena completely. Rolling Thunder comes in. Can they lock him down? Serpent wards. They throw a lot, but wow! Pimp gets absolutely obliterated. In comes FCR. He wants to go for the fight. They pop the BKBs. He's got his own. There's the Dusa ulti. Can they lock down the AM? He is going to be able to just jump to the side without popping his BKB, which is huge.
Yeah, a lot of confidence from FCR. Not committing anything there.
Still going back in. There is a Dusa BKB, but no Stone Gaze. However, Roche being up, Aegis Shard, makes it rough if you lose those.
Cataclysm still on cooldown, or did he use it?
I don't think he used it.
That would be quite nice. Roche is being taken now.
Well, now it's going to be on cooldown for 25 seconds.
Can they stop this? There is a tornado and an EMP.
A little bit far away, tries his best, dodges. Actually, that is again a miscommunication between Dark Demon and Lissex. Otherwise, he would have been skewered to the side. Murdoch's trying to right-click down. Lissex, Mana Void comes in from FCR, blows up the Mars. They're going to continue on. Even though Minga T has the Aegis, they're just going to ignore the Dusa completely. They're doing an excellent job at it. Double kill secured. Buyback as well from Lissex. They're just going to fall back here on the side of Interitus because honestly, they don't expend much for these fights.
Tis mine.
Right, let's see. Was it second Roche?
Yes, Dusa's got the shard. He's going to equip it right now.
Ah, it's such a nice game for the shard here. So many single target spells, but this is huge. Ember Spirit going down. Doesn't have buyback.
Oh, Jay Mari. Jay Mari gets caught in the side lanes. He actually went Battle Fury Ember. I didn't even... What?
Okay. Maybe he's anticipating getting Megat?
I guess so. I mean, don't you just... Especially if you're up against like a Bane Shadow Shaman, don't you just want to Aghanim Scepter, rush the back lines, jump all over the place?
I mean, potentially, yeah, that seems quite nice. But I think they're afraid of the anti-mage if they go for magic damage Ember. They're afraid they're not going to be able to kill the AM quickly enough. And I do get that as well. Ooh, roll popped on the mid lane. There is a gem on Pango, so he sees everything.
Yeah, he just loves using his Rolling Thunder, and Namikaze in a bit of a pickle. His ulti's over. The arrow's not going to connect. EMP up on top. Namikaze's dead. Mingati forced back. 50 seconds death timer for the Abaddon. Dusa ulti gets used, and they just run away. Arena, though, catches Hijack on the tail end. Nightmare save from D-Flash, but Hijack swashbuckle back. Oh, the last hit gets the kill, and that is the gem. Needs to be recovered by Murdoch. Run! Luckily enough, won't be chased. D-Flash, on the other hand, will be caught out. But that's some buyback forced out on the Abaddon.
I wasn't expecting such an exciting game after Interitus lost 2 sets of racks. But AM has finally finished farming.
Well, no, you know, it's an AM. He still has like 3 more items that he probably wants to have and swap in.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, back to base. They need to defend their ancient. There is a fortification for both sides. Would have liked to see Pimp just pushing out bottom a little bit more, you know, threatening the Serpent Wards on the high ground, stuff like that. To make sure Omega can't do anything, even though it was not, you know, they double bought back on Interitus, so they are not going to push because that's super risky.
The prize is mine.
Shaman, please get your shard. Just get your shard.
Mingati is going for a Rapira.
Oh, that is,
Well gotten.
I would say, interesting. Because I feel like he just dies very quickly.
Yeah, true. I guess he just really wants to make sure that if they get any kind of stun on anti-mage, they can kill him in a single one.
Illusion.
Well, with these split shot using modifiers as well, it is like you do wreck your opponents, but this is also a potential win condition for Interitus.
Don't look good.
And Jimari,
One
Dave
more,
is done.
Minute of Ages, they really want to push now.
Perfect.
They could potentially just get the Megas here.
Him not dropping a
Because
Serpent
Usa
Ward.
deals a lot of damage.
Well, they're gonna go in for the Mingati lockdown again, or Sorb gets used, which of course is very good for the side of Omega.
Dyer's doing that glowy thing. Nothing to do with
Arrow. Hijack gets caught. They're gonna try to go in. Spear comes out. Hijack gets locked down. Aeon Disc gets popped, but J Mario already gets pimp. He's gonna get bashed up. D-Flash still has a Fiend's Grip, so J Mario needs to be a little bit careful. Namikaze staying deep just to make it happen. Mana Void comes out. FCR, a lot of damage comes through. Gets the kill onto Dark Demon. Cataclysm. That is gonna be the first life of the Dusa gone.
No BKB now on AM, and that's a big deal.
Antistel out of the Serpent Wards. BKB on Mingati used. They're going in, but it's Pimp Smackdown. J Mari does a lot of damage with that Slide of Fist.
Dyer's bottom barracks heads full.
Hijack, he's just walking
Bye-bye.
in to die. Fiend's Grip from D-Flash onto Mingati. Mingati in trouble. FCR, Mana Void, he gets the kill. But J Mari, there is the right-click core Ember Spirit coming through. Arrow Spear. Oh, FCR with the Manta Style, but it doesn't keep him alive because J Mari, with the good old classic EE build, does so much damage.
He has no mana left though. Yeah, he's dead.
Or is he?
Unless...
This X? That would be a dieback though. Which is also a little bit risky.
They need to finish now on Interitus. I don't think they can defend Megas forever. They need to do something. But what?
What can they do? Considering they don't have any buybacks left, and well, the next Roshan is up in 2 to 5 minutes, so honestly, the Omega don't have to push the objective.
Yeah, they're comfy now. You have two really strong late game heroes in Dusa and Ember.
Dyer's middle
And I think they
tower
have
has to be
superior
disintegrated.
map mobility as well in the late game. So they're pretty snugly in control.
Imari,
Dyer's middle
Tier
tower
4
is
gone.
under attack. Dyer's middle tower
He's just here finishing or attempting to. Luckily enough, Bane doesn't have the Fiend's Grip. Does get pretty dicey pretty quickly. FCR who doesn't have Abyssal yet.
Shadows take us.
Mirana ulti used. And FCR doesn't have vision. But there's nothing. I mean, to be fair, Omega, they just want to wait.
Yeah, there is no rush for them at all.
A tool to teach.
Usa's going Swift Blink. Okay, I'm happy that he's... I mean, I still would prefer like a Scotty. But I'm happy that he is not going for the Rapier. Because again, that is legit giving your enemy a way to kill you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, now with the Megas, he doesn't need to anymore. Ooh, Ancient taking some damage. Always spooky.
This is a risky situation. Double damage onto FCR. Problem is, the creep wave mid is getting split pushed by the Dusa illusions. That means you can't really push anything. I mean, you are up against Megas, and your base defender is Hijack, who has pretty much been your initiator every single time. There's going to be the Serpent Ward dropped. Shackles on Namikaze, but Pimp is just, I mean, very risky, to say the least. D-Flash, the arena comes out from Lissex, in comes FCR going for Mingati. Mana Void blows him up. Namikaze's also gone. Double damage coming through. Rushing forward for J Mario, who's going to be locked down. His mana is also drained completely. J Mario, can he stay alive? Nice arrow from Dark Demon. They're trying to lock down the AM as much as possible, and they do exactly that. But the Dusa is definitely very susceptible to dying.
The problem is that the creeps are so far away for Interitus, so even now with this crucial pickoff, they can't really push. So it doesn't change anything.
Yeah, that's kind of the downside of all these fights. And all the gold also goes on to FCR, which is great for him, but I mean, he can get a moon shard. That's it. Maybe something else for the BKP in case it's on cooldown, which is going to be the equipped Ags, plus possibly shard.
Even Pongo buying a Maelstrom. Oof.
Bane should get the shard as well. Yeah, there, he's going for it. AoE shard, AoE brain sap, pure damage. Oh. And I think he's a level 25 talent, right? Yeah, brain sap, damage / heal. Oh.
Level 25. Imagine.
Wouldn't surprise me if this game goes on for quite a little bit longer. So it is third Roshan with the free Ags.
Yeah, I think with this Aghanim's, it's just finish time for Omega Gaming.
So FCR and D-Flash walking next to Roche. They're going for Roche. The Dusa is not there. Oh no, Mingati. He just walks next to FCR. Does have his ulti available. They're going to go for the Fiend's Grip. Finish it down, but nice signs coming out. Cataclysm in. Mingati, actually the damage is onto FCR. He gets caught inside the arena and FCR is dead. That is a dieback. And that should be game.
Oh, there is no buyback.
I'm actually curious why he popped his BKB while attacking. No, he didn't even pop his BKB. He didn't even get it off. Huh. Just got caught by the arena.
Yeah, GG called.
That is Omega taking game number 1, which was, what, 25 minutes longer than we initially expected?
Yeah, I was gonna say, this went on way longer than it should have. After they took the 2 racks, they kind of dropped the ball, started playing a bit sloppy. But ultimately, hey, a win is a win.
Mari, look at that. The Battle Fury Daedalus Ember, 41k damage dealt. Actually, FCR did slightly more damage than him as well. Which is remarkable on the anti-mage. But yeah, Murdoch, just a rough game. You see it pretty much in the farm disparity. There is no farm on Murdoch or Hijack whatsoever. And everything is on FCR. But that does, of course, conclude the first in this series, Omega versus Interitus, game number 2. After a short break, we'll be right back. See you in a bit.